The San Diego Padres find themselves in a very difficult position. Playing in the National League West, you have to go head-to-head with the Los Angeles Dodgers to try to compete for the division crown. And while, yes, right now the Padres are just a sole game behind the Dodgers for that division, it is still early. And we know that the level of depth that the Dodgers have is sometimes overwhelming. But what San Diego has been able to do over the past couple of seasons is push the narrative forward, being able to push themselves into a position of potential postseason prominence. How did they do it? Well, think back to just a year ago when they jumped out way ahead of everybody else in the market and went after Luis Arraez. They were able to get that deal done, and Arraez has been a tremendous player for them. Rumors started swirling yesterday that the Padres were looking to do the same thing again this year. Now, while they already have Luis Arraez in their fold, there's another player who is making a potential impact and could be a Padre very soon. That player is none other than Jarren Duran of the Boston Red Sox. Now, while it may seem counterintuitive for Boston to make a move with Jarren Duran, given the fact that they are trying to compete this year and this is one of the players that can absolutely help them do that, it could be beneficial for the long term. Right now, the 2025 season is not looking great for the Boston Red Sox. At the time of this recording, the Red Sox are 29-33, 4 games under 500, 9 games back of the division-leading New York Yankees, and 3-7 over their last 10 games. Now, while that may not seem like a terrible place to be, especially with the extra wild cards, we know that the American League Central has not been an easy division and are likely to have multiple candidates in the postseason. So for Boston, they have to take a hard look in the mirror. Can trading Jarren Duran put them in a better position for 2026? Now, obviously, this has been a season of controversy in Boston, and they may not want to continue adding fuel to that fire for that fan base. But if Craig Breslow and the front office are in a position to think ahead, Jarren Duran could bring back some significant pieces. Now, when it comes to Jarren Duran, there is a player that plays with his hair on fire. There is a level of aggression and passion that you see come out every single time he steps on the field. Whether he's running a ball down in the gap or turning an absolute single into an incredible double. There's no doubt that this can be a very exciting player. And for that, when we look back at some of the numbers that Jarren Duran has put up, let's look back at a career year last year in 2024. A .285 batting average, 21 home runs, had a league-leading doubles in 48 and triples in 14. What Jarren Duran does by playing with his hair on fire is truly igniting an offense. There's no doubt about it. Yes, there are going to be some struggles. We're going to see him strike out a lot. We're going to see him make the occasional blunder in the outfield. But to play with that level of passion, especially on a team that is playing so passionately already in the San Diego Padres, could just be adding more fuel to the fire. Again, as I said, right now, the Padres are only a game out of first place at the time of this recording. What that means for this team is that if they can jump out ahead of the market, as they did last year with Luis Arraez, they can put themselves in a position where they can push that division title. Now, there's a comparison that I want to make here, right? And be able to put a little bit more context into what was going on with the Padres last year in comparison to this year. Last year, the Padres had an all-star left fielder, someone that they had picked up last minute and on the cheap, in Jurickson Profar. Profar put together an absolutely stellar campaign for the Padres. It parlayed himself into a very big deal with the Braves, and we know what happened thereafter. However, when you look at the numbers that Profar put up in 2024, he had 24 home runs, 85 RBIs, and a .280 batting average. Very similar production to what Jarren Duran did last year, hitting mostly in the leadoff spot for the Boston Red Sox. Now, while the Padres have a leadoff hitter in Fernando Tatis Jr., there's no doubt about it. Plugging in a guy like this, in Jarren Duran, plugging him into the top of that lineup will ignite this team even further. And because of the fact that there was such similar production, if Jarren Duran can put up the exact same type of numbers in 2025 for a San Diego Padres team as he did in 2024, as Profar did in 2024, this could be that boost, that injection into this team that can surpass the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes, it is going to be a difficult task. Yes, the Dodgers are loaded, they're deep. So what the Padres have with this team is absolutely no slouch. When you look at what the numbers said between Duran of 2024 and Profar of 2024, this could be an absolute bonus if the Padres are able to acquire his services. Now, when you think about what is happening with the 2025 Padres, we just recently saw Gavin Sheets run himself into the wall and be taken out of the game early. And while at the time of this recording, we don't know the extent of the damage that was potentially done, we know that there has still been inconsistency and a vacancy when it comes to the production in left field that we saw them have in 2024. A guy like Jarren Duran can replace that production loss and potentially even surpass it. So that's the biggest part of this. For the Padres, if they go after a guy like Jarren Duran, this could be someone that injects life right back into a clubhouse that is already so full of life. This will be a player that plays with his hair on fire, with a passion for the sport. This is a player who plays aggressive, especially on the base pass, and that could add even more to this team. Think about a team with Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jarren Duran at the top of its order. Being able to put together the type of at-bats, the type of peskiness, the type of absolute insanity on the base pass. Think about either one of them on first base and the amount of pressure that puts on the opposing pitcher to be able to not only deliver the ball to the plate as a strike, but to have to worry about what they're doing dancing off of first base, dancing off of second base, dancing off of third base. These two players at the top of the Padres order could absolutely inflict chaos to the utmost degree that you have to be excited at the prospect of it. Now we think about what Duran has been able to do in Boston, a park that is uniquely its own. But think about the spacious gaps in Petco Park. Think about the atmosphere in Petco Park. Adding in a guy like Jarren Duran to this Padres team could only serve to help in both of those aspects. Padres fans love cheering for their players. They love the atmosphere that is created there is second to none right now in the game. Having Jarren Duran hit a ball in the gap and see him flying around the bases is something to behold. Imagine how much more that he could do in a park like Petco, on a team like the Padres. Now, obviously, there is a risk and a concern, as I said earlier. There sometimes can be a length to his swing, tend to be a bit too many strikeouts, a bit too much aggressiveness. But you'll take those potential risks with the absolute value that can be added in a player like Jarren Duran. For the Padres, being able to jump ahead of the market, as we saw last year with Luis Arraez, is a very plausible idea. So the fact that there are now rumors being mentioned, as said as of yesterday, that they are inquiring about his services, this could be a huge momentum shifter in the National League West and in the National League postseason picture. The San Diego Padres are a team to be reckoned with when you look at what they have already. If you add in a guy in Jarren Duran, who plays with so much passion, who plays with so much aggression, that controlled chaos that is Jarren Duran could only serve to ignite the flames that push the Padres to the top. But I want to hear from you. Padres fans, how are you feeling about the potential acquisition of a player like Jarren Duran? Where do you think he fits in your lineup? And what do you think has to be given up on the other side to make this deal go down? Obviously, there is still a lot of time between now and the trade deadline, so there's going to be a ton of speculations on teams that are not playing well and the players that they have that are. There's no doubt about it. For San Diego, they are in a difficult position and a difficult division. But that has not stopped them before. They go into the belly of the beast, as it were, and face off against the Dodgers and have come out victorious quite a few times. So again, let me know your thoughts, your feelings down in the comment section below. Baseball fans, I want to hear from you as well. What are your thoughts about the Padres, the Dodgers battle, the rivalry that is ensuing between these two teams, and the potential acquisition of Jarren Duran? As always, keep it locked in here to the Baseball Banter Broadcast by hitting the subscribe button down below, as well as the bell for post notifications, so each and every time we drop new content, you will be notified. Most of our viewers here on the channel are not actually subscribed, so by hitting that subscribe button, you're telling us that we're doing a good job and that you like and enjoy the content that you're seeing here. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.